stars, and we have the stars in the building. We have Solome, Basuuta right here, and of course we also have Sade, Nelly in the building. Well, let me let you just say something.
She's the only star here. I am not a star.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we have one star and a rapper.
And a rapper.
Yeah. What makes you think she's a star?
Ah man, she's amazing. Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I mean, creative. Everything.
How was it like working with her? So imagine she's not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was it like?
It was a blessing and one of the best things I've seen, because first of all I was a fan before working with her, and we had done something together before. It wasn't a song, but yeah, it was a concert. It was an event where she really surprised me, because you might look at someone and think she's talented, but when you add on, you know, there's a difference between a recording and a performing artist.
Sure.
So she's both. She's a recording artist and a performing artist at the same time. She killed it.
Wow.
You know?
Well,
Straight from the rehearsals and the
cry,
whole
don't cry,
event
honey.
and coming up with the whole concept of love meets hip hop. That was the event I was talking about.
I was actually about to ask you, how did R&B, you know, and hip hop just
Come together, I know, right?
together?
Yeah.
They are brothers and sisters.
I think they
They are
are, yeah,
BTS
actually.
before.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it was so easy to connect with her. Yes.
Well, Solome, you've been around, man. You've been around.
Quite a bit, yes.
Quite a bit. You know, if I was to just flashback, the person actually knew for a minute. I thought you're more just of, you know, behind the scenes. But then when, wait, is she the one? Oh, I watched this girl sometime on the band. Is she the one?
Oh my God.
So, honey, let's first talk about your musical journey.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's been a while. It's been, I think I made 5 years this year. I started in 2015. Had a sold out concert. I always have to say that I sold out concert, because that day had many other concerts, but mine was sold out. Yeah.
Wow.
Golf Course Hotel. My first ever concert into the industry, and it was sold out, and that was really, really good for me. And such an encouragement when you're entering the industry, like, okay, I'm appreciated, my music is appreciated. And so I started out with my first album, The Song Love, which is out. Anybody can find it. And so since then, it's been a journey. I think I found that the career I'm in is a marathon, ain't a sprint. Like like step by step, and then you go back like 20 steps behind, and then you go like, yeah. So it's been a lot of learning on my part, with my manager, with the team that we have. So it's been learning, and I think for most people, the person, where are you? Where? So it's one of those things where you learn some things, then you go back and say, oh, I think let's go back to the drawing board. This hasn't worked. Let's go back. Yeah. So that has been happening, but it's been an awesome journey. I wouldn't, like, I think, replace it with anything. I left the bank to do this, so I am all out.
You know, I was quite shocked. You know, sometimes some people say that R&B in Uganda does not really sell, but then when you meet someone, you're like, oh my God, she actually made it. You know? Like, are you planning to just keep it around there, or anytime soon you could be seeing or listening to something?
Some other things. By the way, so I'm not really an R&B. So I wouldn't call myself R&B. It's I think my whole, I keep dubbing it the love genre. So I'm all about love in whichever way it is, whether it's about people, society, or God, or whatever it is. And so I touch quite a number of genres. So I have an all-in song, which is kind of mid-tempo. I have Can We Stay, which is R&B. I have Ndete, which is, people would put in the Chidandali, but which is Afrobeat, really, Nigerian feel. And then the new song we're going to hear. So I keep going in different genres, but always have the theme love. That's my thing. Yeah.
Because, you know, for a minute, I was actually, you know, telling a friend of mine that I'm actually going to have Solome today. She was like, but is she a gospel artist?
Yes, I know.
Like, what happened
What
to
happened?
gospel music?
Yes, I know, and people keep asking me that, and I think because when I came out in 2015, the album that I had was gospel inspirational, and of course along the journey, my 5 years, I've kind of grown and evolved and seen myself more. I like saying I'm an artist, and as an artist you create so many things. So I create in gospel, I create in inspiration, I create in love, I create in romance, I create in, you know, social injustice, but everything is about love at the end of the day.
Sade Nelly said, this name Sade, like seriously, Sade Nelly. How did this whole name come about?
Yeah, it's a
I
long
like that
story.
story.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Cut it short.
Yeah, but I can cut it short. Saint, I grew up with that name Saint from way back. The people I grew up with, I grew up in a community where they could smoke, they use drugs and everything.
Yeah.
So since I refused to taste any
No.
of that, and yes,
Real?
yes.
Uh-huh.
They nicknamed me Saint, so I grew up with that name since childhood. Saint, Saint, Tomwa Mwenge, Saint, Tanywa Sigala. So I grew up with that name, and they Nelly said part of it is a bit different because my real name is Nelson, so I had to cut my name short from Nelson to Nelly and add some other name Saint in honor of someone's memory.
But then you're making us forget that there's always a Nelson. So Nelson.
The other name?
Yeah. Because I had to make you forget because it feels good. It makes me good when you call me Nelly said than Nelson because Nelly said speaks a lot about someone I honor very well because I lost someone called Said. She was part of my life. She was an angel, and she succumbed to lung cancer. So I had to add her name to my name so that I could
she be
honor
the
her.
reason behind love story?
No. Love story.
That's
That's a
thing.
different story. We have so many stories.
No!
I would really want to hear that story.
You know?
That's why they call me storyteller because all my music revolves around stories. Yeah, but that's how I came up with that full name, Saint Nelly said.
Well, I'm happy you're here because, the vibe and the kind of hip hop you give us, some people call it, I don't know, Luca floor or something like that. So what, just clarify for the fans, or define your kind of music.
First of all, I was inspired by the desire to make this world a better place. So whatever I do, I have to make sure it brings change in the community where I come from. It brings change in the country I represent. Even when I'm outside Uganda, I have to make sure that I touch someone's life, be it entertaining, be it putting on a smile, be it communicating, healing, because my music rotates around that: healing, entertaining, educating, inspiring. So I am all that combined. I'm a full package of entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about management.
Yeah.
Are you under any level?
I'm not under any label, but I started a record label with my friend called Urban Accent Music. Yes, in simple terms, I signed myself, so
You are your own.
Yes. But I have a good team with me. It's not that big, but everyone is creative in their own way. Yeah.
Well, looking through the collaborations, I see you always do it with the ladies. So just had Sade, now we're having, Solome. Are you ever thinking about doing something with other hip-hop artists?
Of course I do, only that the ones I do with ladies, I think sales quickly.
Or maybe you just
Everybody likes a lady.
Maybe you just love the ladies.
I do love working with them, but not all ladies. I always want to work with people who have the same dream like mine, or people who are fully talented with a vision. You understand? So I don't just work with any lady. I pick. I do. When you listen to my first album, the second album, I do feature them. Only that but I do feature them. I've worked with a couple of artists.
Okay.
Monji, I've worked with The Myth, I've worked with Brionga, I've worked with Patrobas, even people who don't do hip hop music. Yeah.
Who was the easiest to work with among those?
The easiest was Lyrical G, because Lyrical G is one of the people I looked up to when I was coming up, when I was growing, when I was starting my career. He inspired me a lot to become the person I am right now. So it was surprising to, it was so surprising to really know that he's down to earth and he could listen to me, because by then I was nothing. I had no music, I had nothing, but when I contacted him and he welcomed me even to his house to start discussing about the career and the collaboration and all that, it was so inspiring. I think he's he's a legend. Yes. He's a living legend to me, and he was the easiest to work with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Solome Basuuta, the name Basuuta, Basuuta. Hey, man.
Basuuta.
Hey, that's your real names? Or?
Yeah, Solome Basuuta. Basuuta comes from a hymn. Okay. My mother but she names my brothers from a hymn. It's called Ganzi. So Basuuta is from a hymn, a Luganda hymn. So yeah, I used to pray, worship, or whatever. Yeah. So.
But how is your family now, relating with your kind of music right now?
Man, I think I can say I have the bestest family out there. Okay. The Mugambes, my parents are one of those parents, those parents that come for sports day, the ones that screaming on the the race. My mother is one. Okay, my mother, not my dad. My mother is the crazy one. That's why I'm so crazy. So those ones who run on the no, but my parents are supporters. They have come for all my concerts. They have come for all my gigs. When even the music is really loud, but they are very supportive. Even at the time when I left the bank and they didn't really understand that move and they were a bit worried and cautious, they said, man, wish you could go back, but they are with you. And my siblings are my greatest fans. They are liking, they are sharing, they are pushing, so we are all in there. And I think if I didn't have a family like that to kind of encourage, because there are days when you're just depressed. There are days when things are really not working out, and the music is not moving, or you're not getting enough money from the music. But you have your family that keeps just encouraging you. So yeah.
When did you think about jumping into the music industry? When did you know that I can sing? I should go to studio now?
I know, right? Man, I've been singing for 22 years. And I said 22, what? I'm just saying from S1 I've been singing. And I'm in a family that's very creative. My mom used to sing. My dad sings in Kampala singers, so they're mostly a classical based kind of family. But we're in the arts. My mom used to act, and so we're all in that kind of vibe. So singing is okay, but seen as a hobby, not a career. So when I started to think about that, that was in 2013, 14, and I was in a church space, and my friends were doing albums, and my pastor said, Solome, okay, it's time for you to do your album. And so when you're in that space, everyone's doing albums, music, you're thinking, okay. And so I had just a book. I like journaling. I had just a book of words, literally. Okay. I sat on my bed and I said, okay, Solome, let's do something. So I just got my book and think of melodies and things. And I went to my first producer, who was Albert Kwesiga. And I sat with him, a dear friend, and I said, I have this song. I don't think it's a good song. My lyrics as well. Okay. The melody is blah. Anyway, but he listened to it, and when he recorded that song, truth be told, I got encouraged. I said, oh my God, let's do this. Yeah, so since then, yeah. But I've been kind of in the music scene. I backed up for Maurice Kyria. I was in the Pragmo Jazz Band. So I've kind of been in there. So the move wasn't too hard.
Thank God. Thank God you finally started giving us good music. Yeah. Because I swear to God, you're one of the ladies, I must say, who's doing really good music in Uganda. I just feel that, we should have more of you.
Okay. I shall bring more and more and more.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and just take a quick break. And of course, we're going to be listening to some freshness from Solome. And you know what? Go ahead and ask them any question. Jump onto our social media platforms. That's Sade Radio. Ask them anything. I'll be asking them in a bit.